Let's talk about the stuff that actually matters when you start recording, specifically resolution, frame rate, and bit rate, and how those choices impact your hard drive and your ability to post consistently. I'm going to walk you through this process like I'm sitting right next to you, cutting out all the boring textbook lectures. The very first step is to switch your camera into video mode, which might be a dedicated toggle or a menu option on your device. Once you're in video mode, you will see a variety of options for resolution and quality, which can honestly feel like a foreign language if you are new to this. Think of resolution simply as the physical size of your video image, with 1080p and 4K being the two most common standards you will encounter. 1080p is a solid standard at 1920 by 1080 pixels, while 4K is roughly double that resolution at 3840 by 2160. Most modern cameras shoot 4K, but shooting in that higher resolution isn't always the right move for every creator. Remember that 4K files are massive, meaning they take up significant storage space and often require a much more powerful computer to edit smoothly. However, 4K does offer real perks, especially if you want to punch in during editing and keep crisp detail without sacrificing quality. If you are just uploading quick social media clips and don't want to wrestle with huge files, 1080p is still totally valid and looks great for the majority of viewers. My rule of thumb is to always pick the resolution that best matches your actual workflow and available hardware. Next up is frame rate, which is the number of individual frames your camera records every single second. The classic film standard is 24 frames per second, which gives you that slightly cinematic look with just the right amount of natural motion blur. If you prefer something a little smoother for YouTube videos or TV content, 30 frames per second is the industry workhorse. For fast action, sports, or gaming content, 60 frames per second will make everything look significantly cleaner and sharper. And if you want that silky smooth slow motion effect, shoot at 120-40 frames per second and slow it down in your post-production software. One thing to watch out for is that cameras often list slightly weird numbers like 23.98 or 59.94, which is totally normal and relates to broadcast standards. Now let's cover bitrate, often shown as Mbps, which is essentially how much video data your camera is writing to your card every second. A higher bitrate means you are capturing more image information, which gives you much more flexibility in color grading later on. Think of high bitrate video like a raw photo file, while a low bitrate is more like a highly compressed JPEG. If your disk space and editing power are not a problem, always choose a higher bitrate to get the best possible image fidelity. Recapping briefly, resolution determines size, frame rate defines motion feel, and bitrate is how much data you are capturing for quality. It might seem like a lot to handle, but once you pick a starting combination that you feel comfortable with, it will quickly become second nature. Now, let's address the reality of editing 4K files, because they are enormous and can make your computer run very sluggishly. If you are a one-person show, you need to balance your desired quality with the limitations of your editing machine and your storage capacity. My recommended starting setup is 1080p at 24 frames per second, with a mid to high bit rate for a perfect balance of quality and file management. But editing is where many creators burn the most time, especially when they are trying to repurpose long-form videos for social media. Manually scrubbing through hours of footage just to find a single 30-second viral clip is exhausting and inefficient. That is exactly why I rely on tools like Bitrate, which automatically identifies the strongest moments in your long videos. Instead of spending hours searching, the AI surfaces those highlights for you and handles the tedious formatting for different platforms. It also includes an auto-schedule feature, meaning you don't have to manually babysit your content calendar every single day. Bitrate provides a central place to manage, tweak, and publish clips across all your channels, which is a massive relief for any creator. It isn't meant to replace deep manual editing like Premiere or Final Cut, but it is a game changer for extracting high-performing clips quickly. So whether you shoot in 4K or 1080p, you can feed that footage into a tool like Bitrate to reclaim your time and stay consistent. If you are doing a one-off promo, go for 4K and high bitrate, then use AI tools to generate your multiple social media crops. For long-form podcasts, 1080p is perfect, letting you generate a steady stream of short clips automatically for weeks to come. For action, shoot at a higher frame rate for that crisp movement, then surface the highlights instantly to keep your social feed active. To wrap this up, set your camera to video mode, Pick your resolution and frame rate, choose a manageable bitrate, and use automation for the boring stuff. If you have questions about your specific camera gear, let me know in the comments and I will help you dial in the settings. Finally, get ready for the next lesson where we cover white balance so your colors never look weird and you spend less time fixing them in post.